What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are gonna make the Subaru look like a Subaru again. This thing has not had a front end on it in so long. If you guys caught all my last videos, we got the ETS rotated kit, my AEM gauges, the ETS front mount intercooler, literally everything installed in the engine bay. Now we are at the point where I can finally get this front bumper on. But to get this front bumper on, we're gonna have to cut it because this big bitch right here is gonna be in the way. So I got the bumper sitting over there. I'm gonna have to flip it and I'll show you guys the spot that we're gonna have to cut out to make this work. On the back of the bumper here, there's this black plastic piece that runs along the middle on the inside, and we're gonna want that ETS logo showing. So we're gonna have to cut out pretty much this whole thing back to the line of the plastic here. And there's a little lip under there that I'm gonna use as a line to cut all the way across, but I'll show you guys that in a bit. First thing I wanna show you guys is these brackets that mount up on the front that the bumper body clips to right there. Now this is on the passenger side of the car, and this bracket, usually these hooks wrap around the front there by that hole. No, I lied, not by that hole. They wrap around the frame of the car right there with those hooks, and they screw into the threads right there. But if you look at the angle on this plastic piece and how it mounts there, that's clearly not gonna work because it hits the intercooler. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut this down and shave it so these are 90 degrees so that they can fit up in there, and I can get the screw in to get these bumper mounts on there. Okay, so we got those shaved down so that they're 90 degrees. Hopefully you guys see what I mean now. I got both of them shaved down, nice and smooth. So now hopefully they fit behind that intercooler. All right, first things first, let's see if these actually fit now that I cut them. Oh, look at that. They fit perfect. I can get this little mounting screw in there and we can tighten her up. Wow, that actually fit perfect. Those mounts flex a little bit more, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think they'll break or anything. Now let's see if this side fits too. Oh, buddy. That actually worked really good. I didn't think that was gonna work as good as it did. I said it with confidence at the start of the video, but I didn't think it was gonna end up being that good. All right, now that one's tight. Now we can start mocking up the bumper. All right, so after mocking the bumper up, I realized how not visible that intercooler gonna be if any of that black plastic is in there. So I found something on the bumper that I'm gonna show you guys that's gonna make this super easy to cut. So if you look at this black plastic piece here, you'll see that there's these little moldings all the way around the whole grill where they're split there. And then the molding comes up to here and it's split right there, comes all the way along this bottom lip here and it's split right there, and then comes up to that slit right there again. And I'll show you guys where this lip meets up on the front of the bumper. So on the front of the bumper, that lip basically meets up right along this whole upper edge of this black plastic. You can see where it's split open right there. And then it comes down, follows this line all the way along this. And then it follows this whole bottom piece of this plastic black trim on the bottom, up around this piece and up around there. So I'll show you guys what we're gonna do from the back. And honestly, this is gonna be my first time doing this. So I'm pretty scared, not gonna lie. This is a brand new bumper and it's fresh paint. So if I mess this up, I don't know, I'll probably cry. I'm gonna be pissed, but we're still gonna send it. So on this back piece here, I'm just gonna cut a slit all the way along that seam, like the tiniest slit just so that it pokes through. And I'm gonna go low just so I don't hit the paint up top. I'm gonna go all the way to there, cut a little slit on this side here. And then just to show you guys this from a top view, on the bottom here, you're gonna cut your line all the way along this bottom seam right there. Because if you look inside, this bottom seam lines up with the bumper right there. This is the one that's gonna be the most sketchy to cut because I don't want to nick the blue paint there. So I'm probably just going to cut straight up from that lip there. So I'm going to time lapse through this and then I'm going to show you guys the end result because I know I'm just going to be stressing the whole time if I just like regular speed video this. So let's time lapse it and pray for me. Let's hope this turns out okay. Nope, 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 nope. Don't cut it like that. That's way too hard. I found a 10 times easier way to do this. If you guys take a little angle grinder with a pretty rough disc on it or something like that, literally all you have to do is pretty much sand this down until that whole ridge there is gone. And then as you can see, if I grab from the front here, the whole piece will lift out. Whereas on this side, I was eyeballing it, trying to cut straight through, and it was stressing me the fuck out. And as you can see on this side, the cuts were not very straight and consistent. But then on this side, you can see it's pretty smooth, and I'll be able to smooth out all the blue paint on the top. That's gonna be just kind of rough right there. So I'm gonna keep going with the angle grinder. I'll keep time lapsing through this, and this is way less stressful now. All right, so just to show you guys from the front here, I tried putting the bumper on and it still hits the intercooler because I have a 3.5-inch intercooler, so it's pretty big. The only spots it's hitting is right on the corners of the intercooler on both sides. So what I did was I took some tape, drew a line with a Sharpie. I'm just freehanding it. This isn't any exact measurements. I'm just gonna freehand it with a little Dremel tool like this, and I'm just gonna cut those lines out and see if I can get the bumper to fit up good. This isn't a perfect job. Like, I don't really like the corners, how they're wide open like that. I kind of wish I would have kept that top piece, but I do think it looks sick having the full intercooler exposed like that. So I'm gonna get those top pieces cut out and then we'll see if the bumper fits up after that. All right, so to give you guys a little bit of an update of where I'm at now, it's the next day because it got a little bit too tedious and it got really late at night and I was so tired I didn't want to mess it up. So now I got an absolute mess on the ground here, but I got the bumper on 2 stools here just so I could kind of sit on the stool and precision cut stuff better. So once I got these corners cut out to make the intercooler fit, this side is still a little bit close to the intercooler. And I realized this side is closer to the intercooler because if you follow my front line for the bumper here, you'll see it dips down right there. Kind of hard to tell on camera, but I went a little bit low on this side and all along here still a little bit higher. So I took this little kind of circle file thing on the Dremel here and I was going around just trying to make the corners nice and smooth everything out. And now I'll show you guys what I did to draw a straight line across the whole bumper. So I got this big old tri-square here. We're whipping out the carpentry tools and I put a little dot on my lowest point of the bumper, which is right here where I dipped down too much. And then I took the tri-square, I lined it up with that spot on the bumper and I drew a Sharpie line all the way across as straight as I could. And then I just kind of hand drew in the corners because this side's still a little bit close to the intercooler. So I hand drew in that part because I know I need a little bit more clearance right there. Then what I did with more carpentry tools here, if any of you guys know a carpenter or are a carpenter, you know you put this on the wood, mark your spot, take the tape, set it down on where you want it to be. And then they'll take this blue rope that's full of chalk and you just snap it down, take it off, and then it leaves a blue train all the way down in a perfectly straight line where the string was running. So now that I did that, you can see all the way along my whole black line that I drew, that string matched up perfectly. So I know that line's completely straight. Now that I got the line straight, in a perfect world, I would cut it completely straight on that line all the way across, and nothing I do ever turns out perfect. So I'm gonna get this cut. This is gonna be the worst part because this is the final product. So I gotta try and get this as close to perfect as I can, and we'll see how it turns out after that. Come on, steady hands, baby, steady hands. I need this to go right just one time. Oh my God, man. This is so stressful. All right, so I got the bumper just sitting on the car now. It's not mounted up or anything. I'm actually surprised it's staying. But as you can see in the front here, it's pushed back a little bit. My line is decently straight. I filed the absolute shit out of it with that Dremel. And the way that I was able to figure out how close I gotta get is on the bottom, those 2 little mounting pieces that we put in before. On the bumper, there's gonna be 2 little body clips here. I just took my finger, pushed the bumper forward till that line up with the hole, and then you can just check your gap against the intercooler there. And you can see my little curve clears the intercooler completely. It's got lots of room. When you hit bumps, it's not gonna bump into the intercooler, and pretty much the same on the other side. The cut's a little bit different, but it's never gonna be 100% perfect. So I got this 90% cut on the bottom now. I just gotta clean up all my edges so I don't got a bunch of burnt plastic all over the place on the inside of the bumper. But now that I did the bottom, putting the bumper on, I realized even with the bottom cut out, I push forward and my top body clip holes do not line up with the holes on the rad support. So then I was like, what the hell's going on? Why is the top not lining up? I got the bottom all the way cut. Then I decided to go in here and look up under the intercooler. And I don't know if you guys can see right there, but those 2 little tabs, I believe there's one over here too. Yeah. So on the whole bumper, there's 1, 2, 3 big square blocks right there. And they're actually hitting the top of the intercooler when I want to go all the way forward. So if I look up top here, I'm only about, I don't know, maybe half an inch away from those body clip holes lining up, kind of like a finger width type of thing. So what I'm going to do is take off the bumper again, put my finger up to those blocks. I'm going to cut out a finger's width on those blocks on the inside of the bumper, and then we'll set it on and hopefully it fits at that point. Before I get too far with this time lapse, I actually want to show you guys what I'm talking about on the inside of the bumper. They're these 4 little blocks right here that are hitting the intercooler. And if you can see under them, I just kind of took my finger, drew a little line with a Sharpie. I'm probably not going to go that far. I'm going to file them down each on the front piece by piece, just so I have to file down the least amount that I can out of those. And then I'm going to keep test fitting the bumper up till the body clip holes line up on the grill there. So let's get it. I am covered in plastic right now. Oh my God. We got a bumper that fits, baby. Let's go. Now that I filed those pieces down, as you can see up front here, those body clip holes line up perfectly and the whole bumper fits all around. I haven't snapped anything in yet, obviously, because I got to take it off and clean all the plastic out from in behind the bumper and from on my face and my entire body. One thing that I'm not too thrilled with that I did was I thought I didn't have enough clearance on that side, but it was actually because this hood latch piece was bent down, so it was pushing out my bumper a bit. And now I cut it, and if you look at this side, it fits real nice tucked around the intercooler. And if you look at this side, I got a little gap there. It's such a small little detail, and nobody's probably gonna notice it except for me, because I'm picky like that, and I suck at bodywork. This is why I don't do it. Now I did it, and it turned out okay, but I always mess something up. Every time it comes to bodywork, it ends up looking like shit, or it's not even on both sides, or it's always something. This is why I'm an automotive mechanic and not a auto body technician, because fuck bodywork. It sucks. So I'm gonna get this bumper off now, get the whole back side of it cleaned up. I'm gonna make all my final edge trimming just to make the edges look all nice. And then we are gonna get the bumper on the car, finally. Just to show you guys what I did to smooth the cuts out and make the cuts look a little bit more straight and nice and smooth to the touch so they're not sharp or anything. I got this little sanding block here. I'm not sure what grit it is. It's just like a really, really fine grit to smooth it out. And I just took it on the inside and just kind of sanded the whole thing down until I got a smooth finish out of it. I don't care if it's like 100% straight or anything. I'm probably honestly gonna get like a little rubber grommet that's the same width as the bumper here and put the rubber grommet along the whole thing, because then it'll make my not so straight cuts look a little bit more straight. And just to give you guys a view from the inside so you can see how smooth this came out, I just took this and went all the way along, all the way around, even on the top. I sanded the whole thing till it was nice and smooth to the touch so it doesn't feel sharp anywhere. Corners are pretty hard to get into, but I did the best I could. I even did it on this little tow hook piece, even though it's gonna be covered. And I'm honestly probably gonna get a paint pen from Subaru and just paint pen this part, because this part is visible and it's just gonna be one little black spot on the front of the bumper. Then up here on the pieces that I cut out there, I'm not gonna sand them or anything because I don't really care. They're on the inside of the bumper, nobody's gonna see them. So I gotta get all this burnt plastic that's on this bumper cleaned up, and then we're pretty much ready to get this bumper put on. All right, so I got the bumper all cleaned up nice now. All of the melted plastic is all out from inside of here. The bumper's still a little bit wet because I sprayed down the whole inside of it, but these edges actually turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I don't even know if I need the rubber grommet that I said I'm gonna put on there, but I might put it on just to make it look a little bit cleaner. So now that that's all cleaned up, I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse through me getting it put on the car, because if you guys are at this point already and you're cutting a bumper to do a front mount, I'm gonna assume that you guys know how to put a bumper on. I'm not gonna explain that, but this car's been apart forever, so I have no idea where any of my body clips are for this. I kind of just have a table here full of body clips. I think I'm gonna grab the cleanest ones that fit and put them on the top kind of thing, and then we'll figure out the rest as I go. So let's time lapse through getting this bumper on, and maybe we'll have a Subaru that actually looks like a Subaru again. That's dope. Holy shit. It looks like a car again. Oh man. I can't believe this thing is finally coming together. And honestly, for what it's worth, that cut turned out pretty good with this intercooler. I like that it's like fully exposed. The gaps are a little bit uneven on each side, and I don't like the holes up top, but I think I'm gonna do that rubber grommet idea all the way around. That way it'll hug it nice and tight to the intercooler all the way up there. And on this side, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to fit a rubber grommet, but we'll figure that that out another day. This looks dope as hell. I'm still missing a couple body clips up top, and these ones are pretty chewed up. I'm missing one here, 2 there, and 1 on my grill. And to be honest, I have no idea where they are. This car's been on jack stands since December or November. I can't really remember. I think it was December I took it apart. So I've had stuff all over the place on this thing. Like I said, table full of body clips, and I got some more parts back there. But that looks like a Subaru again. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm speechless. That looks so good. And that ETS logo on the front. People are gonna know we're fast. I didn't want people to know that we're fast. That's why I'm keeping the body stock. So it looks like a stock Subaru, but then under the hood, it's not very stock at all. Actually, that's a lie. My alternator stock and my power steering pump and this rad for now, but I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, those 2 mounts on the bottom that we built that go under the intercooler worked perfect. The body clips line up perfect on those. The body lines on the bumper are still spot on both sides. It looks absolutely amazing. I am gonna get a touch-up pen probably and touch up this area that's still black from when I cut it, but it's nice and smooth because I sanded it. So yeah, honestly, screw the outro. This looks so good. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe this video helped you guys out. I know it's kind of cut as you go type of install. There's no solid one way how to do it. I just kind of went along and did it, and it turned out pretty good. So let's do a dope edit of this engine bay. Peace out, you guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one.